Was Zion Williamson fooling us all in this exact moment?
No. Get it done. And on the spin and the reverse, the slam by Zion. Jose and Chris Paul at the end of the game.
This is how rivalries start, though.
Right.
This is how they start.
A 360 dunk, trash talk, and with back-to-back wins over the Suns, the Pelicans were 18-8, and in December of the 2023 season were first in the Western Conference. The Zion hype was at an all-time high. He was back, he was taking the leap, only it came crashing down again. The Pels lost 4 straight, and on January 4th, Zion would sit out with a hamstring injury. He would not return for the entire season. Pelicans staff thought he would come back, he didn't, so many wondered, was something else going on behind the scenes? Fast forward to this year, same exact thing.
It is taken away. Showtime. Pels by 4.
Finally, Zion is back, we all cheered. He looks skinny, maybe the turn is coming, only boom, he's suspended for being late to team practices and late to a team flight. The Pelicans are 12-32. Zion has had big weight problems, he's looked like a star, he's been called out for lack of motivation. What is the real story? Are the rumors true that through this noise, Zion is still trying to force his way to a bigger market? So what's up, Mike here, and I hope you don't just write this video off as just blind hate towards Zion. I've made a ton of positive videos towards Zion. I still want him to turn it around, but do you remember this after Zion's draft lottery?
Was there any read as this plays out and he realizes, okay, it's New Orleans, like that's likely where I'm going to go?
Yeah, I mean, to me, he kind of looked like he had been hit by a truck. When he woke up this morning, New Orleans was not what he was thinking.
Mark Spears said Zion was quickly whisked away out of the draft lottery room because he was rooting to be picked by the Knicks. This season, even more evidence. Zion fired his management because of, quote, the agency's perceived inability to land the forward in New York City. That is as clear as can be. Zion has never wanted to play in New Orleans, but New Orleans bet their franchise's future on him as the #1 pick and has remained loyal to him. Despite this, Zion has played in just 194 of the possible 444 games he could have played for the Pelicans. CJ McCollum, who was traded to New Orleans in Zion's 3rd year with the team, has played in 198 games for the Pels. I think we can all agree. Stars getting paid $40 million a year to watch the game instead of play drives us crazy.
Zion Williamson in a familiar spot on the bench in street clothes. Unfortunately, this amazing talent just has not been able to stay healthy in his career.
Zion was not only a generational prospect, an athletic freak, and mixtape legend. At Duke, he was the National Player of the Year as a freshman, a feat only achieved by Hall of Famers to be in Kevin Durant and Anthony Davis. Drake wore his jersey in high school. He was an easy #1 pick and then was an all-star in year 2 after averaging 27 points per game. He was supposed to be the NBA's future, but after years of showing up out of shape, many, such as Shannon Sharp, question.
Everybody wants Zion to get in shape except Zion. Everybody wants Zion to have discipline except Zion. Look how they got in his contract. That ain't got nothing to do with New Orleans. That's Zion, and here's no discipline.
Let's contrast Zion to LeBron, who at the age of 40 is still built like a Mack truck. Greg Oden would say this after the 2014 final.
Right after we get back, because we lost in San Antonio. Yeah. Probably like 8 in the morning. I lived across the street at 900. I'm gonna go work out. LeBron in there 7 in the morning with his mom, working out. And we just lost the finals. And I know for a fact he played 30.
That's the people don't know.
LeBron always had the mindset of a legend, and it paid off. Then let's compare Zion's work ethic and mindset to Victor Wembanyama, who perhaps has the most God-given tools out of anyone we have ever seen, and is also one of the hardest workers in the NBA today. Wemby has already taken on franchise star responsibilities. There has been zero big market talk by him. In fact, what Wemby has said is,
in a good and bad way, it's how others that I used to like, and now I'm just like, nah, they don't seem like they put as much work as I thought. Some of the guys I've been watching growing up, I'm not disappointed, but I'm like, that's it.
Victor Wembanyama will rightfully be the face of the NBA one day, as hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. But at his best, Zion does still show flashes of greatness, bullying defenders around the rim while using his strength and athleticism to shoot over 70% from 0 to 3 feet for his career. Every time he plays, we can see his talent. So is this truly a lack of motivation, or is there more to this story? Here's a question I have for you. If Zion did get traded to a big market and suddenly finally was playing in every game and dominating. Would we forgive him instantly? We probably would. In fact, I would say fans would love him. The reason being, we love good basketball, Zion has already proven to be a fan favorite, and we love a good comeback story. But with Zion, is this even a possible situation?
We work 2 to 3 hours a day, which you get paid millions of dollars to do. And you have access to the gym, and some guys don't do it. Right. Or will sit on a video game longer than they work on their own game. They got every excuse, blaming coaches, blaming this, blaming that.
Well, with Zion, we have to remember what Vince Carter did in Toronto. Vince forced his way off of the Raptors in a very public way, and then it was completely forgotten. If there is still hope that Zion is going to be a superstar, that hope would unfortunately be paired with Zion just does not want to play in New Orleans. In the 2005 season, Vince Carter averaged 15.9 points per game on 41.1% shooting with the Raptors in 20 games, then was traded to the Nets and averaged 27.5 points per game on 46.2% shooting the very same season. He played terribly because he didn't want to be there. It was said Vince was telling other teams the Raptors' own plays. Raptors fans booed him for years when he returned, but the general NBA fan base still forgave him because, again, we just want to watch good basketball. That doesn't make what Vince did okay. If Zion is doing the same thing, that is not only unfortunate, it is crazy to do as a young player, but that same weird pattern of obvious talent and production mixed with extreme inconsistency is there. Remember, Zion has performed just enough to get a max contract. He even played 70 games last season, giving us that same hope that maybe he was back on track, but it's like he's a toxic ex-girlfriend who tricks us into loving him, only to then dump us again. And while the talent did show, year 5 Zion was much worse on the stat sheet than year 2 Zion. In year 5, Zion averaged 4.1 less points per game and 1.4 less rebounds per game. His advanced numbers, PER, true shooting percentage, win shares per 48 minutes, box score plus minus, and VORP all went down. His on-court plus minus plummeted. But it's not as if he was awful. Being completely fair, this season Zion is averaging 21.9 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 5.4 assists per game. Those are essentially MVP numbers back in 2002. For the 2025 season, they're not superstar numbers, sure. They're not even clear all-star numbers, but if he was putting up those stats on a contender, Zion would be getting all-star buzz. If that is Zion's plan, to be moved to a bigger market, to a better team, and then lock in and focus, he's going to be an asset. But it's here where his weight problems and his motivation come in. Zion has had a lot of injuries, yes, but how many of those could be prevented if he was in good shape? This last year, Zion went viral again in a video where he got a back tattoo and looked out of shape as his chef prepared him pasta. How did they post this? This is a huge pattern that is mixed with a lack of leadership for a supposed to be franchise star. As we have to remember, before the Pelicans were in first place in the 2023 season. In 2022, Zion sat out the whole year with a mysterious foot injury that popped up over the summer. He showed up to training camp weighing over 300 pounds, raising several red flags as the big market rumors popped up again. Many said Zion wanted out and this was his way to do it. He made things worse when he refused to take any Pelican staff with him to rehab in Oregon, and when CJ McCollum was traded to New Orleans, it took Zion weeks to even call him.
I haven't had conversations with him directly. I know about as much as you do right now, but really? I want to get...
So maybe if Zion was in a big market, he would care more. Or maybe Zion is simply just missing that work ethic and mindset needed to be great. The Chicago Bulls before Michael Jordan made the playoffs just twice in 9 seasons and had never won a championship. Now they are an iconic franchise valued at $5 billion after 6 Jordan rings. The Golden State Warriors before Steph did win a title in 1975, but before Steph they had made the playoffs just 1 time in their last 15 seasons. They are now valued at $8.8 billion, the highest in the NBA. The superstars that built up this league did not try to run to big markets before they had done anything of note. They took on the challenge of building up their franchises themselves into big market teams. And they did that through one thing: success. I still very much hope Zion turns it around. I love a good comeback story as well, but would we bet on that? At this point, many are saying Zion is on the road to become the next Ben Simmons, a story of what could have been if only he cared to put in the work. So there we have it. Thank you for watching today's video. I want to know what you think down below. Does Zion still have a chance to be a star, or are you just not feeling that? If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on post post notifications. That way you never miss a video. If you're still here watching, you are awesome. We all know it. And as always, have an awesome day and peace.